Oh, good day to you. How's it going? It's September 6th. It's 11 a.m. on the East Coast. We're hanging out. We're down in Wilmington, North Carolina. I'll be here until probably Thursday, I think. And then Thursday we're going to get on the road because guess what happens on Thursday? The season starts. Now, I've done a lot of work on the NFL algorithm to prepare this Excel file which predicts games and tries to predict outcomes using all any type of information it can and runs its formulas to predict scores and look at the players that are playing in the game, what their injury statuses are. I've done a bunch of videos, but it's a really complicated file, and I understand that everyone has a lot of questions and there's a lot you can do with it. So what we'll talk about today is the Thursday game right here, Tampa Bay versus Dallas. We're going to talk about that game, and I'm not going to show the projections for the rest of the week. That's for subscribers only. I want to honor those people that have paid for it. You're going to get it first. I'll do a extensive video going over those games, I believe, on probably Thursday or Friday, I guess. We might just watch the Thursday game first because, as you'll see in this video, there's a lot to discuss in each game. Oh God, in each game for week one here. It's kind of different than other weeks because you don't have any stats for the season yet. All of the player stats that we're using are all from last year, and so that means we're not including rookies. So I have now created another thing here to look at what percentage of the offensive depth chart players, what percentage of them are actually rookies, so that we can determine kind of a composition of the team and how much is players that have played previously in the NFL and those that are just rookies now, which is shown in this percentage here. So like for the game on Thursday night, Tampa Bay is only 16% rookies in their depth chart on offense, and Dallas is 35% rookies in depth chart on their offense. Now, what you can take from that are a few different things. One, it means that they're bringing in more new players for Dallas this year. All right, that's number one. That doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. However, the odds that these rookies are really good NFL players are probably not as good, or at least you wouldn't expect most of them, to be better than current NFL players that have stats in the past, just because they're rookies. Now, that, of course, is not always true, and you're going to have to look at the actual players that play in the game to figure that out. But it is certainly something to look at because it shows, for example, that the Carolina has a very large percentage of rookies. The Washington Football Club, large percentage of rookies. Low percentage of rookies, a team like Kansas City, only 13%. Your Mahomes, your Tyreek Hills, your Travis Kelce's, they're continuing to play, so that's represented in a low number here. So this is going to be something that we will definitely look at reviewing the games for week one. But like I said, let's talk about Thursday, and I'll fix these things are a little. I'll get rid of these errors. But this is just a unique thing that I'm doing, really, probably just for week one. I mean, I might leave this in here, but it's something I don't really want to update every week, and I'll explain why. So what I did over the past week, what I talked about in the previous video, and what we needed to do was to get all the players on the correct team. And I still don't know if I've gotten everybody because it's a huge swath of players. But what I did grab was the depth chart, DEPTH, the depth charts of RotoWire, and that is what has been extracted here. And then I ran a formula to try to figure out exactly how many are rookies. For example, on Arizona, you've got these guys, Antoine Wesley, Bruno Labelle, Eno Benjamin, and Rondale Moore, that are probably all rookies if this formula worked correctly. And that just means that they have certain positions that they're in, and we can check the projection pivot sheets to kind of open that up and look and see where they are. They're not going to be listed on here because they don't have any calculation of how much they're of value because they have no stats because they're rookies. So they would essentially show as a 0.0 on here, and they're not on here. So that's why I added that right here. So anyway, all right, so let's go through Thursday to kind of make this make sense. So we can go through Thursday by opening up the actual projections. Voila. Voila. All right, so the actual projections say that Tampa Bay is a really, really heavy, strong favorite. If you're looking at how last year worked out for them versus Dallas, that makes a ton of sense. It thinks this game is going to be 35-21 at a magnifier of 3.75. Magnifiers have a range, it seems like, of around 2.5. This is going to change the scores. So it's going to be somewhere between a 23-14 game and a 46-28 game. That's kind of the area of range. So we don't really know how this is going to work yet in the first game of the season because, like I said, the players are all screwed up. We still got so many rookies with no stats. So I'm pretty happy with how this worked out over the preseason. So I'm just going to let it ride and do it right around here. But we are guessing, so please, understand that nothing is going to be perfect here in the first week. I hope everybody understands that. We're just having fun right now. So what it says to do is, it says that they're supposed to win this game, potentially from, anywhere from, what's the low end? They could win by 9 still, even at a magnifier of 2.5. So that's kind of cool. Let's go up to 3.8. So it says they cover the spread. Now, one of the reasons for this is that Dallas's defense is so awful. If you look at their defense, and you actually will, let's see, if you go look at their defense here in the season pivot sheet, and you do actually get a look at week 1 right here now. And this will give you the percentages. And I'm going to talk about this later in the weeks. Do not worry about this right now. Do not worry about these percentages up here. And also don't worry about, I would say don't even worry about this number in week 1, except if you want to say, what would this comparison have looked like last year? It's really a 20-20 win score percentage. What would this matchup have looked like last year? And that's the answer. Really, the projected score is what you should care about when you're using this file right now. That's what it's built to do, is give you a very accurate projected score, or attempt to do so. So you can almost hide this, but I won't. But I'll leave it up. But that's what you're seeing over here, in this percentage that's being created on the season pivot sheet. So when we're looking at week 1, and the reason why I did this is you get to see the defensive rating of the team over here, and the Dallas's defensive rating. I mean, let's find them. Dallas is right here. Their defensive rating is so bad that they actually have like a terrible comparison between defensive ratings. That's this number right here, this negative 8.9 that's orangish red. That means that the defense of Dallas is so much worse than the defense of Tampa Bay. And it's because the defense of Dallas was pretty much the worst in the NFL last year, almost, if it wasn't. That can be discussed and shown in the pro reference sheet here, where we discuss ratings from last year. I mean, look at this. Kansas City was 14-2 last year. That's last year. That's not this year. So all this stuff is still related to last year because there are no stats for 2021 yet. So there's a defensive rating which shows up right here, and this is all public information put out by NFL Pro Reference. You just go grab whatever the consensus rankings are. It's just kind of like a college ranking system. They rate teams and stuff. And so Dallas, where are you, Dallas? Dallas is right there, and they have a defensive rating last year of negative 6.1. The only teams worse than that would be, if you sort smallest to largest, Detroit was worse. Do you want to put money on Detroit? Dallas was almost as bad as Detroit, and Jacksonville right down there with them. So they got to do something about that defensive problem this year to do anything against Tampa Bay. So taking Tampa Bay minus the points, you got Brady, who's now I believe 83 years old, and he still wants to show that he can do it. So he's probably going to try to win by more than a touchdown. Now, when you start playing with points and spread, I end up getting annoyed at betting. So I was thinking about, people are going to ask me, what's the big bet on Thursday night? What do you do? And after much thought, I haven't even looked it up yet, but I know that it will be offered on something like DraftKings. You can go check out DraftKings. I own stock options in DraftKings. Full faith in full faith and disclosure. I do own options in DraftKings, but you can go to DraftKings, and I will go to DraftKings, and I will look up what the total points for the Tampa Bay Bucks number is, because there's going to be an over for the game, and that over for the game shows up right around here. Apparently, the over for the game is 51.5 points. So that's a tough over for them all to hit, because maybe Dallas won't score any points because Tampa Bay's defense is good. In that case, Tampa Bay, the spread line for Tampa Bay wins. But I don't like. I think teams try to win. If you're going to bet anything, bet the Tampa minus 350, because they're going to try to win this game. Some weird stuff can happen, and they might not win by more than a touchdown, but they're going to win this game. So it's not a good payout, but that's really the pick of the day. If you want to make $28 on a $100 bet, you could watch Tampa Bay beat Dallas. That's probably a good bet. But the one that's going to pay almost even money is whatever Tampa Bay's points are. Now, we saw that the range of Tampa Bay's points was between 2.5-ish, which brings them down to 23 is as low as it can go, but they might hit as much as 46. Okay? So, what does that mean? I think that means that if you have, I like this 35 right here. I would like to see if you can get a alternate over on Tampa Bay's points. I don't think you can. I think that they actually just offer it'll say Tampa Bay is going to score 30 points, right, or something, whatever it is. If it is that, if it's 30, 31, absolutely. That's what I would go with as my pick of the day, because you're relying on Dallas's defense to continue to be bad. You see that Dallas has 35% rookies in their offense anyway. So what does that mean? That means, I don't know, fumbles, interceptions, people that haven't played before, people that are getting welcome to the NFL people, right? That's a third of their offense. What does that look like? I mean, who are those people? Those people are right here. Those people are these guys. Cooper Rush. Wait, Cooper Rush doesn't sound like a rookie. I'm thinking of Cooper Kupp. No, I'm sure he's a rookie. I mean, this is probably correct that these are probably rookies. Cooper Rush, Hunter Niswander, Malik Turner, Sean McKeon, Simi Fihoko. All right. TJ Vasher, the Vanishing Vasher. Will Greer. All right, a lot of guys. And then here's what else you got. Amari Cooper. Yeah. I don't know. I think Dallas is in for a reckoning on Thursday night. I think Brady really does want to be like, hey, I'm old and I'm here to stay. Watch me win some geriatric football. All right, anyway, so that's the Thursday night update. The rest of the week, I could open it up and show everybody, but I'm not going to. It's for subscribers only. So if you want to subscribe, you can purchase the September package. It's $50, but you're going to get updates all through September. You're going to get this file every week as we update, and it does a bunch of things. And it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to change a ton. This whole sheet right here is going to be gone probably for week 2, and then all the stats are getting updated. Every single one of the stat sheets right here. And what else? The pro reference, because we'll have a whole new season. Everything's going to change. It's going to be super distorted. It's going to get crazy. That's what happens. So get excited. NFL algorithms here. If you do one thing on Thursday night, it is watch some football and probably enjoy Dallas's defense giving up a lot of points. And may all your picks be winning.